What's up, guys? Jake from OneHive, bringing you guys something you've never seen before out of OneHive raids, a possible series. We might try to do this once a week. We've got a very special guest, the leader of OneHive, Rex, to see what's up, man.
Hey, what's up, Jake?
Not much, man. What we're going to start with today is just a base review, not a base review, but a base, how to break it down, how to figure out how you're going to attack it, find the weak points, what's going to work. This is the top Town Hall 9 against the Chinese clan that we just warred. So, you know, what we're going to do is just go back and forth and sort of break this down for you guys. What would work, what wouldn't. The first thing we're going to talk about is just the type of base that we've got here, Rex. What would you call this?
So when we look at bases on a Town Hall 9, there are two really big categories that you want to look at. Is the base expanded or is the base compacted? So expanded bases are typically anti-hog, whereas a compacted base is typically anti-gold.
Right, and clearly what we've got here is an expanded base, right?
You can see that it's taken up pretty much the entire war map. This guy specifically designed. This is actually a base popularized by the guy Kamikaze on the forums. This one is actually a modified version of it. So this is actually a very common base, and you'll see it used by many. I bet you every war you're in, you'll see at least one or two people using this base design.
Or some form of it.
Right.
Yeah. And obviously, like you said, this is anti-hog, or it's designed to be anti-hog, anti-golem, anti-dragon with the centralized air defenses, the X-bows pointed up. So those are the things it's trying to prevent.
Right. And with how OneHive works, we are always looking to 3-star our opponents, regardless of what Town Hall level they are. This one just happens to be a very maxed out, high-level Town Hall 9. And we're going to break down this base to see how exactly you can go about 3-starring this. Unfortunately, in this war, we weren't able to because of certain real-life occurrences, whatever. But we're going to go ahead and talk about this base design. So first things first, what kind of army composition would you say would work best on this kind of base tree?
Well, if you're talking, if you're asking me, the first time I would, like if it's the first time it's being attacked, I have no idea where anything is. I'm going to say either a holo wee wee or some type of a golem composition, a go wee wee, a go wipe, something like that. You know, later on, knowing, as we'll see, giant bombs, Teslas, things like that get exposed, it changes, but from scratch, I would say holo wee wee or a golem comp.
And I completely agree with you there. So one of the reasons why you can't just straight up hog this base is because of the giant bomb positions that you talked about. Typically, there's a double giant bomb position there, one there. Okay, so those are the 4 big giant bomb positions on this one. Typically, you'll see a potential giant bomb there and there, or Teslas, if you see the original design. However, in this base, you don't have that, so we're not going to even think about it. So those are the 4 biggest spots that you have to be watching out for. When I first attacked this base, I knew there would be a Tesla there, because it wouldn't make sense for it to be anywhere else. This guy intentionally wanted this kind of outside ring structure, and without a Tesla there, the ring would be incomplete. That leaves 3 other Teslas, and when I was thinking about attacking this base, I thought they would be either here. I knew there would be at least one right there, and then I didn't think there would be one here.
Yeah,
one here, as you will see later.
Just to jump in here, normally when I see this base, you're going to find a Tesla next to those wizard towers protecting a giant bomb. I've seen that numerous times, but this guy didn't have that. But a lot of times you'll see that it keeps you from triggering those giant bombs easily. So that's sort of what I assumed.
Yeah, so it's a very good point. Usually there'll be something outside or somewhere over here. There's no double space over here that you can see, but a lot of the times they'll do something to distract, or detract the hogs from going in and triggering off the giant bomb. So that's also what I thought as well.
Yep.
So when I first attacked this base, I was thinking either it should be hogged. I personally don't have high-level golems. It could be golemed, but I wanted to ensure the 3 stars, so I wanted to hog it. So I was thinking, why don't I just holo wee this? Because if you check out the air defenses, can you click the top one in the core?
In the core, yeah.
Yeah, the core.
Okay.
Okay, so I knew I could loon these 2 and these 2 defenses with loons, even if there is a Tesla blocking that.
Right.
And then if you click the bottom air defense in the core.
In the core, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so if you see here, these 2 defenses are sitting, or these 3 defenses are sitting on the exterior of the air defense.
Right.
And this one's a little bit tricky. These ones can get shot down because the air defense covers it. So if you really want to be able to loon these, you have to send in an extra loon.
Right, I agree.
So typically you would send in 2 loons to destroy a wizard tower. But I figured if I send in 3, if I send 3 in here first and send 2 real quickly, the air defense will be destroying one of the loons while the other 2 here and the 2 here are going to work.
Like a 2-finger drop, even right there. You would send 1, 2, 3, but the second finger would only tap twice on the archer tower. Essentially, what you want to do.
Yeah. Well, wherever you send in the 3, you want it to go first.
Right.
So if it's closer, if it's closer deployment to the defense, then you would tap it. Or if you know the air defense is going to target, so what you can do is tap it 3 times up here and 2 really quickly behind there, or 2-finger drop, like you said.
Okay.
After you tap 1 first.
Get that first one out to take some damage and draw fire away from the others.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So another technique that's really good is if you want to save some loons, and I usually do this when I'm looning. So as I was saying, if there is a wizard tower or an archer tower or a collection of archer towers, let's say there's one here, and they're pretty close by, and say this air defense was not here and an air defense was not here, you wanted to send a loon.
Right.
Most people will send 2 loons at these archer towers. But if you send in 1 giant, like right here through the middle, these archer towers will be attacking these giants. And you can send in 1 loon, assuming there's no seeking air mines, and they would destroy these archer towers. And that's just a little trick to save in some camp space.
Yeah, I've seen you do that, and I like it. If they're bunched up, is what you're saying, and you can get maybe 2 to 3 defenses targeting that giant, you can save a loon on each defense, so it's a net gain for sure.
Yeah. You're only saving 5 spaces, but 5 camp spaces can be huge.
Right.
Okay, so if you can click the other 2 air defenses just so we can see the coverage. Okay, so this one, you don't want to loon this side at all because this air defense is just, there's way too much coverage for these defenses.
Yeah, I agree.
There's potentially some double coverage with this expo. And then for this bottom defense as well, you definitely, this one even more so you don't want to loon because you have this air defense, you have an expo next to it, and you have an archer queen right here sitting in the middle. The archer queen does much more damage to loons than an air defense does because the rate of fire and the amount of damage.
Yeah, that bottom to me is suicide with loons. You don't. I mean, it's just got the trifecta. You don't want any part of that with loons.
Yeah. Okay, so back to what we were talking about what army composition you can use. So I decided to go ahead and attack this with Holowiwi. With Holowiwi, what kind of spells would you usually take, Jake?
Man, my Holowiwi is almost always 3 heal, 1 rage, unless you have a very exposed queen where the rage is not necessary, and then I'll let the rage go and just bring 4 heals. But to me, that is crucial. To your hogs are what's doing a lot of the work for you. They've got to have the heals, and if you've got to get into that queen and she's hard to get to, that rage can save your raid.
Yeah, I agree. You either want to do 1 rage, 3 heals, or even 2 rage, 2 heals. I like to take 2-2 sometimes.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, and the reason I like to take 2-2. And I know Hulk doesn't really like talking about raging the core.
Yeah.
But if you know there's 2 Teslas in the core or 4 Teslas in the core with 2 expos, you want that core to be destroyed as soon as possible because that's just so much damage coming out at once. Also, I like to take a rage if I know there's a huge collection of high HP buildings. Those ones would be expos. Expos have a ton of health and air defenses.
Yeah.
So you don't want your hogs. One of the biggest, obstacles for Holowiwi is the time limit.
Sure. Yeah.
And so a rage kind of mitigates the amount of time that takes for those hogs to run around. Let's see.
Yeah, I've seen, speaking on that time limit, I've seen so many people, especially people that are new to Holowiwi, watch their balloons do the work, and they get ready to start sending their hogs, and they've got like a minute left to clear the rest of the base, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, so that's something you have to trust in yourself, is just knowing what the balloons will do.
Yeah.
Okay, the second obstacle for Holowiwi is the Teslas. And Jake and I were actually talking about this a little bit before, but let's see. All units, giants, hogs, golems, anything that targets defenses,
balloons,
kind of freak out and balloons, freak out when there is a Tesla that pops up. And we're going to actually go over one of the replays here just to demonstrate.
Yeah, they'll just sort of stop, even if I've seen them do it, Rex. Even if they're attacking something and a Tesla pops nearby, they'll stop attacking what they're attacking for a second. They might resume immediately, but they just stop and freeze and then start back up again.
Yeah. Okay, so it's kind of laggy on my screen. Maybe you could.
Yeah, well, we're watching here right there. You'll see that, and I'm going to back it up and do it again because it happens quick. But as soon as that Tesla pops, just watch the loon sort of stop. And what it actually does is it sort of resets their targeting. Now, the chances are they're going to go back to the same target they were on, but it resets it. And so they have to stop and the little calculation, whatever happens, to pick a new target. So you'll watch it real fast here. He drops the loons. It's a good drop for the wizard tower and the archer tower. And right there, they stop. And one loon it turns and goes that way. So you've got to be mindful of that when you're dropping your loons. Or like Rex said, hogs, anything that's defensive targeting can throw you there.
Yep. Can you watch it again?
Yeah.
And show the top loons this time.
Yeah.
You'll see that even the top loons, whatever is on the map, all units stop. All units that are attacking defensive buildings. So I happen to deploy some loons on the very top first. However, those loons would stop. And that's what prevented me from.
Yeah, I'm going to zoom out and show the whole thing.
All their defenses.
Oh yeah! Wow, look at that. Even the ones on the other side of the map, amazing.
Yep. Yeah, and you'll see they actually stopped 3 times because 3 Teslas.
Yeah, another Tesla just popped and it did it again, and then the third. Golly, that's crazy. I've never noticed it across the map. I've always been looking in the area.
Yeah, so that's a huge obstacle for Holowiwi.
Yeah. Good point.
What I wanted to do is destroy these defenses. I'm going to cross them all out.
Okay.
And then potentially that just leaves the remaining defenses would be this. So when you deploy your hogs, the only thing that you have is to look out for is this Archer Queen, the VK obviously, a giant bomb here, and a giant bomb set here.
Right.
Because if these two, let's show these red. If these two defenses are gone and these two defenses in red are gone, there's no reason for the hogs to even travel there. So it eliminates the giant bomb possibilities over here. I don't even have to think about it.
Right. Yeah. I plan on at some point doing a holo wee wee video similar to the hog and dragon, and that's going to be sort of the theme of that video is that people, when they look at holo, the reason you bring balloons is to eliminate your hogs from traveling to known or suspected double giant bomb locations. That's it. Otherwise, you just hog the thing.
Right. And you're totally right. The only other time I would actually loon something is if it's completely exposed, no air defense.
Sure.
You can get a free defense out of it.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I was thinking is, why not drop a barb here, trigger this Tesla, and then send in one hog through the middle. If there is a giant bomb here, the one hog would trigger at least one giant bomb, and I could heal through the second one.
Right, one giant bomb you can deal with.
Yep. And then for this one, I was going to send in my kill squad. I think I made a poor choice in hindsight. I think because there are so many defenses left over, you got these three, this mortar, and this cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Here. Sorry, I'm going to get rid of a lot of these lines. Okay, so you have these defenses and these defenses. I ended up bringing two witches because I wanted, when I was attacking this queen, I wanted the skeletons to tank for my kill squad.
Mm-hmm.
However, there's just too many defenses. I should have brought a golem. That way, I could start off the golem here, destroy this wall, and then send in my hogs to go through this way.
Right, right.
So if here, let's see if I can draw slightly better. Okay, so if I deploy a golem here, the first thing it's going to do is target this cannon because it's the exposed one.
Right.
At that time, you want to deploy a couple of wizards to take out these buildings, and you also want the wizards to take out this archer tower. That way, if you decide to up in the hogs, they will go from this defense to here to the core, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is, or I guess they could branch out this way. So you would have to, it's going to be kind of, you drop a heal here. You'd want to save a heal for here because you know there's a giant bomb remaining.
Right.
So that requires at least 2 heals for this base. You could either take another rage or a heal, just in case. You could even heal over your kill squad while it's taking out the CC.
Right, yeah.
But so one of the main things that you have to think about when you're attacking any type of base is the direction or the pathway that your defense attackers will go.
Yeah, I think that's a great point.
I know my golem will go from here, and assuming I bring in my wall breakers in time, they'll destroy this wall. It'll go straight to this. It can't. If you don't do it in time, it'll run around this way, and this is not what you want. So you want to make sure you blow up that wall. The other reason you want your wizards to destroy this is so that your golem has no chance to even run around this way because you want it to go straight into the core.
Mm-hmm. You want him taking the queen.
Right. So you want him to You kind of want him a dual purpose. You want him to take the queen, and you also want him to trigger these giant bombs right here because those giant bombs will do nothing to the goal.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the plan for this base. It didn't work out very well. But if you just eliminate the giant bomb possibilities, hogs are still a big threat. I think that's all I really wanted to talk about. The only thing else that I wanted to talk about is if you know exactly what the enemy is loading into the CC, you should prepare accordingly.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's it.
A quick point on that, on the CC, and I just saw this on a YouTube video today, as a matter of fact, and I believe it's the truth because I watched a few replays. Apparently, before the clan castle troops only exited from the bottom right side. Now they're coming out all four sides, so they're emptying. The clan castle is emptying 4 times as fast. I don't know if you've seen that or heard that, but I watched a YouTube video on it today, so I'm pretty sure it's accurate.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, they're coming out.
That's actually.
Watch a replay, and you'll notice that they're coming out all 4 sides, and they're emptying again 4 times as fast because they're coming out each side.
Oh, that's very interesting, Jake. Thanks for letting me know. I'm gonna have to watch a couple of replays.
Yeah, check that out. But yeah, guys, what we're trying to do here is show you on this base. This is just one base, but to show you the steps that actually go into breaking down a base when you're not just going for that 2-star, you're not just spamming your troops. You're trying to 3-star a difficult, high-level Town Hall 9, and you have to think about each detail. Where you're not just once your troops are where I'm going to drop them at, but what path are they going to take? Whether it be the golem, the hogs, you've got to have at least a general idea. Okay, they're going to go from this defensive building to this one. I'll probably need a heal here. If you have that in your head and you play through it a few times, you're going to have better luck on your raids, and you're going to get more stars. So thanks for joining us, Rex. Thanks for breaking this down for us. Like you said, too bad we didn't actually 3-star in the war, but it should have been done. It just wasn't. It wasn't that we had a bad plan. It just poor execution. So again, thanks, and hopefully we'll have more of these videos for you guys that'll help you. So Rex, again, man, anything else you want to say before we go?
Well, much love to OneHive, and thanks for your time, Jake.
All right.
See you next time.
Yeah, till next time, man. This is Jake and Rex from OneHive trying to help you guys suck less.